YouTube, welcome to the top 8 of the Meta Weekly, where it's all up to Blue Eyes to defeat the dreaded Malice. Is it possible? It's all up to Tomioka, and not only is he playing Blue Eyes, he is also playing Kaiba Man Blue Eyes, thus requiring a third brick in the deck, the third copy of Blue Eyes. And if you're playing a third copy of Blue Eyes for Kaiba Man, you may as well throw in another brick, which would be the Jet Dragon, because the Kaiba Man could search it. So there are a ton of bricks in this deck, but despite that, we are still in the top 8. Are you ready? But watch as long as you can that greatly supports the event. Hajime.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
Yep. Bail it. Negate it. Negate the activation. Mate. Now, if the card were not limited to one, another copy would be activatable in the same turn, which I guess you could Crypto, return it back, then search it with the red ransom. That's quite convoluted, likely not to happen. So with our undercooked, oh hey Nibiru, how you doing? There's no Apollo to stop you, but what the? All right, well we have Ash, Droll, Imperm. We can banish cards in the grave. We can non-target banish a card in the field. We can non-target banish a card in the field again. We could return a monster in the field or in the graveyard. Actually, the Firewall can't even do that, but it. We're gonna have a case to do that. We're gonna have to get rid of the allied Kotaku. Do we have a Lingaribo in the graveyard to make room to then? Yes, we can. So let's recount this because I got confused by the allied Kotaku not pointing forward, which seemingly is a mistake, but we could still play around that mate. So we can return a monster. We can banish in the graveyard. We can banish in the field twice. We could imperm. We can also called by. We could ash. We could draw and lockbird. We have about 8 disruptions only. Let's go. Imperm, negate. And we don't know if the crossout would have even been able to negate Nibiru. Maybe Kraken doesn't play it. Spirits with Eyes of Blue. Come to me, our Mausoleum, which will allow an additional summon. No more searching for you, which the Maiden would be able to set up the True Light and give us a wishes to search, no longer a play. We have Blue Eyes in the graveyard, attempting to do something. I mean, like, why even attempt to make plays against this deck, right? We're gonna chain Ultimate Fusion to you trying to finger my Spirit with Eyes of Blue. We're gonna return back the blue and the Blue Eyes for a Tyrant Dragon with the ability to attack every monster on the field. Its attack and defense is reversed thanks to Ransom's random ability. Cryptor is back through the summon of GWC. Let's additionally summon the Maiden. Maiden sent to the graveyard after summoning for now having a True Light. We're going to negate and banish the True Light. True Light gone for the game for good. Forever gone. To battle we go, non-target banish away the Tyrant Dragon. And we still have an MTP play for another non-target banish. We still have the Ash Blossom. Valiant effort from Blue Eyes here. Well done. And just like that, lethal damage. Barrel is here, set up a Lordy Load. We have the Fool Loss and the Impulse is also ready. Lordy, now generally the Impulse will not be able to stop the Spirit with Eyes of Blue tributing itself to Reborn because there'll be no other card in the field, but if you do have a card in the field through the field spell or the Lordy Load, then of course you can. So I would actually say in most cases you actually can impulse that, but instead we're impulsing the Lordy Load and it happened to work out. Now our Fool Loss is dead. We do have still the Ghost Spell and an Effect Veiler. Is that going to be good enough? Let's draw 2, banish the Chessie. Chessie come back. We could not Ghost Spell that obviously. We could try to Veiler it if we want to. We do Veiler negates. Now we're left with just a Ghost Spell. Ghost Spell stopping the ability to interact with the graveyard in some way. That could be a Link to Coda Reborning. That could be the Malice and Underground Field Spell. Even if you're attempting to banish from the deck, you would just negate it anyway. And with them being able to summon, or even March Hare is attempting to banish from the graveyard. Abystial, attempting to banish from the graveyard. Bell, negates. No summon mates. Now, we're going to further GWC. With the White Rabbit being banished, it will trigger to come back. Chessie was reborn back with the GWC. The hand traps are gone. And they're gone. No more hand traps. And is their field worse now because we used 2 hand traps? Actually, it does not look like we sacrificed anything. We are just going to have full power, full-blown power, full, unhindered, top of the tippity-top ceiling of unstoppable power, full play. And yeah, we know that, so we're just surrendering. All right, 2-0. Let's go. Drax won the last meta weekly, set TB11, what a Chad. As we max C, we could then use a drone lockbird on you. There you go, gotcha. Now, we have 2 monster negates, a non-target banish mate, and we can banish cards in the graveyard, so it's like 1, 2, 3, about 4 forms of disrupt plus the max C. Chassis into Lingaribo to pin down the MTP. This is a game-winning play if they don't have Apollo to negate you. Let's use the gold Sark banish from the deck, as we're going to be adding the March Hare back. We're going to use the Apollo to negate. Not today. You're not getting that Chessie out. You're not also special summoning the backup Ignister. We're going to take out the White Binder, and also big enough at Lingaribo to wipe away the Apollo. Let's now attempt the GWC. Lingaribo says, ain't no way. I don't think so. Negate. We're going to chain MTP. We could just Ash that mate. Just like that. Lingaribo and Ash pinning down our other plays. Now, Mouse and Mirror by itself is nothing. Absolutely useless. We have no graveyard activatable cards. Holy moly, Drex may be winning this. Off the top of the deck, brick. We just have Ash. Oh my Jesus. How the heck did we lose going first? We're going to normal summon the backup. Ash is going to negate, and we're just going to play right on through that because, well, we don't have a mouse card in the graveyard, actually. Special summon, splash made, splash it up, reborn back. We do have the way to go into a Heat Soul, draw a card, and just like that. Not enough for lethal? 100 off? A Banished Malice will cost 300 life to summon back. A Banished Malice Link will cost 900 life to summon back, and the only way to gain life points is a GWC on resolution having a Malice Link on the field. Well. Let's go to game 2. Speed this up. Bestial, Impulse. When and how would a top-tier player use this? Let's find out. Wizard plus 2 additional bodies, because that's totally cool. Oh my Jesus. Mouse in Underground. There's bajillion negates here. We're not gonna even go through all of them to even win this duel, but let's see. White Binder, Apollo negates. We have an Omni negate. We have multiple non-target banishes. We could even Bestial. Lingaribo is going to negate the GWC. Now, you would cope that that's enough to cut them off from all of their other disruptions, but the March Hare. Cross out Designate on March Hare is an idea. If they didn't also have a Bestial, which could then instead banish their own card, it's just like, they have 3 ways to access their multiple non-target banishes and banish from the graveyard and immense field presence through the GWC, March Hare, and Jerusalem. So you can't even consistently cut them off. Cross out Designate will be negating the Impulse. And with whatever use you wanted with the cross out, if it's good enough, I'll just negate it. Why not? Negate. I don't think Drex even needs to think about what to negate. I think he could just say yes to everything. Just the first, you do something, I negate. You activate a monster, I negate with Apollo. You have a card in the field, I banish it. You just literally, not even well timing it, not anything bad that I'm saying towards Drex. It's just, he was in that position. He had so much more disruption that you didn't even see. It was in the graveyard and it was accessible. Well done. 9K get clapped. There's a ban list this week from Konami. It should be this week, right? When was it last year? Could I have to check that real quick? I don't want to be lying to you or mislead you. Let's see. Boom. Wow. Last year, this same time, they hit just one card and it was a semi-limit. I cannot wait. That's gonna be crazy. Like Ice Ryzeal to 2. Done. Dormouse. Banish a March here. What I think actually happens is at this point, you play Lancia. You keep seeing Lancia against non-Malice. You keep losing, but you know it's for Malice. You then finally play against Malice. You then don't see Lancia. And then after that duel, you either take out Lancia or you uninstall. The Unicorn, I guess, is just going to be unicorning by itself. It's going to do nothing. It's just, we like definitively have an out to the Sark and the Senjin. The Happy's brick, the Birth should have been searched by Unicorn. We have a Serpent and Unicorn as our only cards. That's it. Unicorn's going to trigger. Good thing they're not going to be able to have access code Talker. Got him. Nightmare Phoenix will discard on summon. Taking out the field spell. Just going to get banished. Earl, thank you for putting on a show. I don't want to say thank you for trying because there's nothing to try here. Okay, Birth. That's, stop that. Yep, okay. Senjin is going to get negated. King Sark is going to get banished. Oh my Jesus. Yeah, and it's not even like banished right away. Just let me play with myself for a minute or two and then I'll banish it. Let's reborn, then banish, then trigger, then reborn, then activate, then set, then activate, then search, then banish, then it's banished. All right, we have our prayers grabbing the Habakiri within the draw phase. We're going to negate the Saji with the Ash. And beyond that, we do have a Bystial. How are we going to time our Bystial to banish? If we're able to gain access to a Babel early, the Babel will make our effects in Graveyard quick, which would then be able to dodge the Magnum Hunt. We're not going to be going for that early Babel. We got the World Crown instead, Into the Moon of the Closed Heaven. Oh my cheese, let's speed this up. Masquerena is usually a double disruption as it goes into a Little Night Banish and then Little Night Banish again, but in Orcust, it's a third disruption, very specifically because of the Enlil Gursu. Otherwise, you don't have a good way to get the Enlil Gursu in graveyard outside of Masquerena. And once you get it in the graveyard, it has this effect of during your main phase, but it's actually not during your main phase. It's literally whenever you want. It could be the battle phase, end phase, where you're able to send a card in the field to the graveyard thanks to the Babel. You could also take control of a monster. We're also going to be able to Nibiru. We're going to be able to reborn the Dingursu, send a card from the field to the graveyard. We could also reborn the Link 1, send the World Wand, grab a World Crown, then World Crown will be special summoned through the effect of the World Wand. That will be another effect to negate an activation of an extra deck monster. We're at about 7 forms of Disrupt. Looking great. We just lost our Ding. What the Ding? What? Okay. Let's see what's good. Elder of Darkness. Come to me, White Rabbit. White Rabbit's gonna be banished. Back onto the field, activate the set into the back row. What's very important with the Enlil Gursu is it does not target when it takes control. We got a freaking Little Night, mate. Now, the Enlil Gursu is about to be sent to the graveyard through the effect of the Jerusalem. This is a very crazy chain link we're going on here. We use the effect of Enlil Gursu on the lower chain link with Masquerena on the higher, so the monster we take control of we're not gonna be able to link with. Sure. Now, let's resolve it. Link off the entire field into a triple material Polyosay, banish nothing, add back. Now, you actually don't take control if you do it like this. It states that you have to add it to your hand. Then. So if you remember how then works, if you don't do exactly what before then you don't do anything after then. Because it wasn't added to your hand, you can't then take control of the Little Knight, whether that was by mistake or not. Now, Earl GB may say, Decade, if I were to chain my other effect, I would be locked out of summoning Apollo. You're right, but you're also wrong, and I don't think he'd be saying this, right? What you would do is you would, before Masquerena, activate any of your other cards that would lock you out of going into Apollo, and then you chain Masquerena on a higher chain link to still go into Apollo, and then still be able to add the card to your hand to then still be able to take control of the Little Knight. Is that understood? Okay. And they took our Little Knight anyway. Great. We're going to summon the Galatea at Link 1, which will still get the World Legacy Crown as we add it from the graveyard back, then trigger the World Wand to summon the crown. But Apollo says, ain't no way. Negate and Lil Gursu. Woo, this is so good. So you think we're negating the effect to summon the World's Crown, but we're not. It's going to come out. It is out. And this Apollo USA is secretly protected by a Masquerena, even though it's actually Hakimo cannot destroy it by card effect. We would still be able to do so. It's kind of confusing ruling there, but it does not matter because we're sending it to the graveyard. Non-target send. GWC, banish the Dormouse to reborn a banished or engrave. And send it. And negate nothing. And an extra deck monster will now be negated and destroyed by the World Crown, unless it gets chain link blocked. And a good way to chain link block is a link decoder, which we can't summon because the Little Knight is pointing to the wrong areas. So do we negate and destroy the Red Ransom? Yes. Negate and destroy. Got him. Now, Hakimo is not locked out of summoning his own Apollo USA. The problem is he doesn't have enough bodies to do so. But when he does, we will be ready to hit him with that Nibiru. Right now. That's the play. Wipe it. Interesting duel we have here. The Babel is still allowing us to quick effect our cards. We could symbol reborn from engrave. I guess we can Long Gursu, which is something from the extra monster zone we could return back. I usually don't use the Long Gursu, but it is definitely an option. Usually people surrender before you get to that point. Target 2 banished machines, then send a linked monster your opponent controls to the graveyard. One linked monster. It doesn't have to be linked with your Long Gursu. It could be linked with something else, which the white binder is linked. So you would be able to send the binder with it being linked. Interesting. The link decoder. All 3 monsters are linked. And we're going to send the binder. Well done. Pretty damn cool. As we now go into a Splash Mage, let's reborn back the... Woo-hoo-hoo, let's freaking go. Orchist. Yes. That was good. The game broke. That's how good it was. White Rabbit, GWC. We have an Engraver, which could tract, which could get the Horror in graveyard. We could normal the Lurie or the Harp Horror and link off from there. There's some Fiendsmith plays we could cope and try to get into a Nightmare Mermaid. Maybe that could be what discards the Harp Horror. Nightmare Mermaid does trigger the Lurie, I believe. I'm not playing Fiendsmith in my version, so let's read that real quick. The Nightmare Mermaid does say discard 1 card, so it does trigger the Lurie. You could actually go into that. So, you know, we got some bricks here. Kusanagi's a brick, World Legacy's a brick. We have 2 good normal summons, but either or we would want either of them in the graveyard would be a good play. The way to get them in the grave would be the Nightmare Mermaid or the Engraver, but the Engraver will be negated. Like, what could we even do? Really, what can we do? It did not negate. Let's go, mate. Woo. Okay, Ash negate the track though. So now with 3 different cards that we want in the graveyard, we have just reduced our chance of that ever happening. Let's get the Harp Horror into the Galatea. Now, does Galatea discard? Galatea does not freaking discard. Why don't you discard? So she's not going to trigger the Lurry. But if we can make it to the Mermaid, which of course we're not going to make it to Mermaid, we could then discard the Lurry, and then it will reborn. Discard the World's Wand. Negated and banished. So it's recursion effect of reborning back from the grave. That's gone. It's effective searching for a card to summon. That's gone. I think we even, oh yeah, thank you. That's what's happening. I think we summoned the Galatea in the wrong spot. We would not even be able to summon the World's Crown with where we summoned it, because it has to be to where a link arrow is pointing to. Well, that is game 3. All right, what is good? Let's go. KGBs. What am I playing on the ladder now? I was having fun with Orcus, and I'm playing some Purely right now. I'm playing hand trapless Purely, which is quite fun. Having a lot of fun with it, actually. Even if I do end up playing against a crazy Malice Mad Lad. Maxi in response to the Lurry. In fact, I welcome Malice. I want them to have full turn 1s. Even though I said, hey, the game sucks after that duel, I want to keep on fighting it until we have a really good duel to showcase. Requiem summon Crimson Tear, which can then send the Paradise here. The Imperm is in our hands, so we could activate Pirellia and Fualas. Okay, it's gonna work out. We're gonna do both, just like that. Thank you very much. Every summon from the hand will result in a draw, but not from the deck or extra deck. We're gonna use the DD Crow to banish away the Orcus Nightmare. Not today. Now we could still further use the Triple Tactics talent to rip the last card out of the hand. We're gotta be careful though, as any summon from the hand will result in that draw. Do we have the, we're going to negate them from being able to set up the Fiendsmith in Paradise, which on special summon would result in us sending a card in the field to the grave. Now, we're gonna Triple Tactics talent, go for the draw 2 play instead. Don't mind if I do. Thanks to Pirellia giving us a Fiendsmith Kiri. Crimson Tear from the deck, send Engraver here. Engraver is gonna return back the Lurry, reborn back. Let's link off 2 into the sequence. Sequence fuse with the graveyard into the Fiendsmith Lacrima. Fiendsmith Lacrima, reborn back the Engraver. Let's Foolish Burial the Harp Horror. Set up the Babel, so they will now be all quick effects. As we quickly summon Gursu, send the World Wand. World Wand, banish to summon a banished card back, which will be the Orcus Nightmare. We're going to link it off into Galatea Link 1. Orcus Nightmare is going to boost up the Fiendsmith Lacrima. Galatea Link 2, target a banished card, return it back, set up our Omni Negate and Banish Mate. Dingursu on summon is going to send the Lacrima Crimson Tear. We're going to be reborning back the Requiem on field to then summon from the deck an Engraver. We're going to further symbol reborn back the Gursu. To battle we go. 10,000 damage. Finish him, right? Not enough? Lethal damage MP2 for burn. Masquerena, link it up. Game. All right, let's hop into game 2. Let's go. What? Set Kiri. This turn, your Life Fiend monsters cannot be destroyed by battle. You also half any battle damage, so we could still use Pirellia. Okay, sure. Let's do it right away. Pirellia in the standby. We know they have Triple Tactics talent. Let's not enable it right away. Gursu, as we also chain Droll and Lockbird. Fiendsmith and Orcus can play quite well under the effect of Droll. We have the Harp Horror, token on each side. If you draw into an Imperm, it will not be usable, obviously. And an additional benefit of giving the opponent a token is your Impulse, if you're playing it, which you're not if you're playing Fiendsmith, can now negate Nibiru. Ash, negate, Requiem. Well, we're going to now DD Crow, the Harp Horror. We don't have a Babel to chain to the DD Crow to dodge it. Galatea Link 1, banish the Gursu, reborn back, then ending the turn. That Link 1 is going to enable the Orcus Crescendo. Duraswarm attempt to banish to battle over the 0 attack. We're going to negate and banish. Be gone with the Duraswarm. And we can't even make use out of the token. We are completely bricked up. What the heck is going on? Now, the token can be turned into, I guess, a Link Spider, and then you can normal summon a Hand Trap and then go into Moon of the Closed Heaven. But we did not have a Hand Trap to normal. We also don't play Link Spider. Let's speed this up. Reborn back the Harp Horror with the World's Wand. Let's symbol. Reborn the Harp Horror from Engrave. Turn all three into the Enlil Gursu. Let's take control of the token by returning back the banished Orcus Crescendo to make it reusable. We have Orcus Nightmare from the deck through the Harp Horror, as we are going to be just smacking him lightly as Nibiru now tributes off the entire field. Maxi will be drawing two, or at least attempting to do so, as the Crossout Designate negates the Pot of Greed. No draw two for you. Now, we still have the quick effects of all of our other cards to still potentially set up some plays. We're not completely blown out here. We're going to use the Enlil Gursu to banish, send Nibiru to the graveyard, and then during the opponent's turn, we can summon the Galatea Link 1 to just negate whatever play that may be. Draw phase, reborn, negate it. So if it were a Bestial, you'd want to be activating it before this comes out, obviously. Holy moly, to Parelia into the Typhon. Now, the Orcus Crescendo can negate an activation, not a summon. Thus, the Link 1 has been destroyed. MP2, let's get rid of the token. 2700 token will be protected by the Imperm, negating. Now, our follow-up to this, we have the Orcus Nightmare. Do we have a wand in the deck, or it's banished? It's actually banished. All of our good cards are banished. We're going to have to use the Long Gursu to return them back. Maybe we're playing a second copy of the Galatea Link 2. Let's Harp Horror, banish someone from the deck, Gursu into the World's Crown. As we got boosted up thanks to the Orcus Nightmare, which was very much needed to be big enough, as we now have our Masquerina. Galatea, Link 1 with our Omni Negate, plus we can go into the Little Knight Double Banish, discard the Ash, add back the World's Crown, which could summon to where the Masquerina is pointing to. Negate and banish, negate an extra deck, Little Knight banish, Veil off the top of the deck. Do you have any freaking plays in your deck, mate? It's all hand traps and a Fiendsmith Kiri. What the heck is this? Moy, I know you got unlucky. Yeah, as I'm getting unlucky too. So thank you, Moy. I appreciate you. And let's now hop into the top four. Do we Impulse right now as it tries to summon? We do. Hoping that that is their only play. But nope, now we have our real play through the Harp Horror. Could Link 1 also discard the World's Wand. This should end on a great turn 1 field. Monster Negate. We can Monster Negate again by boosting it up by plus 800 with the Orcus Nightmare. We could Little Knight, banish. We could take control. We could send a card from the field to the grave. We could Ash Negate. We could Nibiru. We could Dingursu, send a card from the field to the grave. And if we can get a World's Crown onto the field, which I believe we can do, we have 11 believe me, 11 disruptions. Yes, 11. Reborn Link 1, send the symbol, add back the World's Crown. It's 11. Gold Sark. Banish from the deck. And now, I said we only needed 3, maybe 4. We only need 3. 3 of the 11 will be enough. Now we're down to 10. White Rabbit, activate on summon. Apollo Negate, we're at 9. 9. Hakimos, hang in there, my friend. I'll take control of you whenever I want. Yoink. We're now at 8. Well, okay. We could have given Apollo another negate, Masquerina, double Little Knights, and the Orcus could then have sent, Dingursu could have sent, the World Crown could have negated, Nibiru could have tributed, Ash could have used the deck interaction to negate. Yep. Speed this up. Technically, before making these plays, wouldn't it be a great idea to boost your Apollo to 800, right? Give it its negate, and then make your plays, mate? I know we're just rushing to victory, but yeah, that would actually be the way. Send a World Wand just so it has the negate to protect you from a potential Nibiru. Hakumo's Dark Locked? Yeah, he is, but if he wasn't, still, it'd be a funny idea. Even maybe stop a Bestial, right? I just want to see cool plays, whether you need to do them or not. 1-0, let's go. Let's hop into game 2. So, an F for Mouse here. Not cool. Engraver, come to me. Tracked, Drone Lockbird. We're going to chain MTP before the Droll resolves, which would stop us from being able to search. Now, if you're confused from me earlier saying that there's only 6 1-card starters, the backup Ignisters are 1.5 card starters, so those are the extra 3 on top of the 6, being a total of 9. Gursu is what you really want to Imperm or Veiler. It stops multiple effects. Gursu has the ability to give you 2 additional bodies plus send from the deck to the grave. You're putting a token on the opponent's side of the field that you're going to take control, so it is your additional body plus the token you're already inherently getting. You have to Imperm it. But with the Fiendsmith engine, we have insane levels of hand trap resilience, being able to play it through pretty much anything. But it does come with the downside of you can be more susceptible to losing to Maxi or Fluid Loss. That is what keeps this in check, preventing it from being the sole definitive best way to play this version of the deck. Nightmare Phoenix on summon, discard Engraver, get rid of the back row, as we have Lacrima burning for 1200. Cross out, Droll, why not? As we're running away with this. This is an easy win. We are under Droll Lock, Apollo USA ready to negate. Ooh, boost up the Apollo USA, don't mind if I do. We got 4 negates on you until the end of this turn, that is. Galatea Link 1, discard the called by, not going to need you. World 1, come to me. All right. Well, we have 3 negates on the Apollo. All right. Dormouse, Apollo, negates. And then triple tactic talents mate. Why are we so like undercooked? I guess the Droll kind of messed us up. Triple tactics, yoinking the Apollo. We still have Ash, but now it could get negated. Now it can't get negated. We have Little Knight. It could get fingered though. What happened? Why are we losing now? We lose. What happened? Why? And then our Ash gets fingered? It's over. We were like doing our things. We were full combo. And then we lose. How? What went wrong? I have to like analyze that whole turn. Because like there's a moment where like they're doing 100 actions where you just kind of turn off. It's like, all right, come on, win the duel, win the duel, win the duel. And then we didn't win the duel. Let's go. Easy win. Get this Malice out of here. They're not going to Ash. I don't think you should Ash Gursu, by the way. But if they did, then we easily play right through it. Let's Galatea, Link 1. How do we lose the Link 4, though? Because we didn't Mermaid. If we Mermaided, we would have had the Link 4 because we would be able to get the benefit of World Legacy and a symbol. The symbol would be the 4th body to at least get the Link 4 and take their token. Okay, but this is still pretty freaking good. We have the Omni Negate with the Crescendo to negate and banish. We can negate a monster on the field. We can negate an extra deck monster activation as long as it doesn't get Chain Link blocked. We could still Masquerena double Little Knight. We're good. We're good. Come on. And we have Gursu, also rebornable. Gursu's going to non-target, ban it, send a card from the field to the graveyard. We have at least 6 disruption. We don't play Fiends with the Paradise. I don't think so. I assume so. I'm assuming. Do we have it? We could even go into an Apollo instead. Negate. So the 5 disruption, additionally, after the impermanence, is assuming we are Little Knight double banishing. Link Spider. Little Knight. I think we maybe just crescendo this because it's going to get kind of wild. Like 2 effects in 1 Little Knight. Just like get rid of it maybe. There you go. Okay, good. Banish it away. Get that out of here. Okay. The lingering window is important. It's going to dictate what we're able to summon with the Masquerena. We can't go into Apollo as soon as we activate any effect that locks us in a dark. Extra deck monster, World Crown, Masquerena. The Dormouse was already banished, so there was an option if we wanted to Little Knight banish it and it wouldn't come back. Orcus Nightmare. We're going for the Dinger. I mean, we also could have Dingursu sent the door. I don't think the Dormouse should have been activatable here. I think we should have stopped it, right? Why didn't we Dingursu or Little Knight it? I think we should have dinged it. Chessie's here. We don't want it to draw 2 potentially. Symbol for the ding. Now, right now the Orcus Nightmare has locked us out of Apollo. Apollo's not a play anymore. Ding him. We could ding it, and then we could still Little Knight banish the Dormouse if we needed to. We still have so what are we left with right now? After all these plays we've made so far, we could Little Knight, double banish, we could negate an extra deck monster, and from the graveyard, we're out of graveyard plays, that's it. We're relying on just 3 more forms of disruption. White Rabbit, link this off into Wicked. Woo! Oh boy. Bro already has Wizard, so even if we try to banish this early, he's gonna follow up with the freaking Wizard. March Hare, you're letting him trigger? You can negate, but you can't destroy. It's gonna stay on the field. It stays. But we do negate it from searching for a backup, which would search for a Wizard that he already has the freaking Wizard. Oh my Jesus. Oh, now we're Little Knighting? Now we're doing it? Oh, we used double disrupt. If we just Little Knighted, it would have, well, so we activate Masquerena, they chain March Hare, it summons, and then we would still be able to activate the Cyberse. So us stopping them from searching would have actually been chain link blocked by our own Little Knight. We would not be able to World Crown it, if you understand what I'm saying. Lingaribo, we're left with just a secondary banish now. No! What the? Time limits? He still had plays. He still had plays. He still could have ransomed, right? He still had Splash Mage. Like, we had so much disruption. How did this happen? How? Let's go. Chassis, Imperm, Negate. What? That completely ended our turn. That's crazy. What? We're normal summoning a Wizard. Wizard's got 1800 attack? That's huge. Okay. White Rabbit, GW. Banish, Reborn, Chain the Max C, Call by the Grave, Finger the C. As we're now going to be reborning back that Chessie. Come back to us, White Rabbit. We're ready with our own finger, but what are we fingering? Chessie, banish the mirror, target the White Rabbit. We're going to droll them on the higher chain link. No ad for you. As we further go into Lizardos. Lizardos, when we have not banished the Chessie yet, so it would be coming back. Unfortunately, it does not since it got fingered. Well done. You do need to do so before the Lizardos activates. It is a cost to banish the Chessie. Thus, that was the correct timing of the called by. We're left with a... What's fingered right now? Maxie's fingered, and so is Chessie. Your own Chessie's no good, and our own Maxie is no good. So both players have fingered themselves. Impulse, an activated effect that's banished, especially if it's a Dormouse. Beautiful. YOLO the Allure, banishing away the Druiswarm. As we now hit them with the Droll just in case. Set the Called By and pass. We have no cost, banish Engrave to make plays with. White Rabbit set up the MTP. It should be over from here. Malice in Underground, Impulse, Negate, Mate, just like that. You don't have to worry about Nibiru for the rest of the turn. We still have the ability to return, banish, Droll, Druiswarm. Let's just bounce it back. That's enough. A 1 disruption hand, a hand that can't play through a single disruption. Yet we saw you against Orcus play through like 7. Makes sense. This is interesting. We have a 2-card combo hand. No 1-card combo, so it's balanced. We have an Ash to keep them in check, a cross out to negate that check. Actually, we don't even need the cross out because the Red Ransom can't even be negated here. Link Decoder, come to me, as we have now not going into Apollo. We're going to Splash Mage, lock ourselves out of Apollo. We're going to have the Allied Code Talker Ignister for an Omni Negate. So banish from the grave, banish from the field, negate anything, Imperm, Droll, return a monster back, about 7 disruption here. Negate the Chessie with the Impermanence. Further Lingeribo to tie down the GW, activate GW. Lingeribo is going to get negated. So we're going to use up our negates. We're going to call by the Grave Finger the Binder. The effect of banish from the graveyard is now gone. Reborn back the Cryptor, so the MTP play is now gone. We have Cryptor, non-target banish, and we had the Droll, and then we had the Firewall Dragon. All right, well done. Kraken taking a Game 3 victory, on to the grand finale. Let's do it. Screw Lancia, who wants to play that card? We got negate, banish, return back, droll them if we want to, but then our MTP would be turned off. We have impulse, we have finger, we drolled, so we can't MTP. That's okay. We still have a million other disruptions here. Lingeribo can attempt to turn off a back row trap. We're going to negate and banish the March Hare Mate. March Hare, add back to the hand. We still have the Malice in Underground. Underground, banish the Dormouse. We could, if we wanted to, impulse. We're going to impulse, negate the GWC. Instead, we're going to March Hare to play around the impulse here. Banishing away the Cryptor. Cryptor come back. Banish away the already banished Dormouse, so it's not going to get its effect. Damn. Just like that. Didn't need the called by, didn't need the impulse. Let's Lingeribo in case they want to have an impulse. We're going to impulse the March Hare from in hand. We have a negate with the Allied Code Talker Ignister. It's a super checkmate. Let's hop into game 2. All right. I think I saw a tournament recently where they had side deck and Mouse didn't do well because every single side deck had 3 Lancia. We can't main Lancia anymore. We have to main Droll. We still have to play Impermanence. We still have to play Ash. We still have to play Called By. We still have to play Cross Out. Reborn from the grave, and let's go. Crossout could just negate a Dormouse if we have a Dormouse still in the deck, which we don't. But we could just negate a Chessie. Negate the Chessie. We don't even have... I think we could beat them with just non-engine here. With just Crossout, Impulse, and Droll, they're done. That's the Impulse. And then on the MTP resolution, we could Droll if we wanted to. Do we even need to Omni Negate, non-target banish, banish from the grave? Dark. Sure. Attempt to take the White Rabbit. I'm just gonna reborn it back. Valiant effort though. Maxi. Oh no. Let's negate, but not banish. The MTP not activatable, obviously. But it could have been. Odd, but I mean, then you're banishing their White Rabbit, which is kind of awkward. We now have the MTP, non-target banish for ourselves. Let's banish it away. And just like that, it is now over. March Hare, banish, come out here, 9 to 100. Let's banish from either player's graveyard. And let's take this into our game number 3. Akimo, you got Omni Negate, mate. Just, yes, he just activated right away so they know to not make any other play. Just don't even put the March Hare in attack position. Don't do it. Just battle. Do not. He did it. It's okay. It's allowed. All right. Game 3. We have a Malice problem. Fua, Ash, Max. Let's freaking go. Droll stops both the Fua and the Max. Okay. Dormouse banish the Chessie. Chessie attempting to come back. Let's do it. We can Ash the Max, and we will not even have to draw the Fua yet. Fua's not going to be getting a draw here. Let's go. If you draw yourself, you lose out on being able to search for backup. You're not able to draw 3. Ash, negate the Chessie. Now, mind you, we are under Fua, which we could draw right now. Draw. Boom. All right. And as I said, Malice plays through Droll. Even with the Red Ransom not being able to search the deck, you still summon a Red Ransom. Little Knights, banish the Red Ransom, and this is why, because Red Ransom is going to pull a card from the deck and summon it onto the field, essentially. White Rabbit is here. Set up our GW. It's for the make our binder. Banish our 3 from the GY, Door and March Hare, come back to our hand and onto the fields. What's the possibility of playing through this? Yeah, I mean, like, we can't even finger their White Rabbit with effectiveness. They already have MTP. So the cope on fingering to stop MTP is gone. They can non-target banish us, banish from our grave, return a monster back, maybe even more if you want within that one effect. They have double monster negate on top of that, mate. They have more disruption than we have cards in our hand. Normal wizard. Well, like, okay, right. What else we're gonna do? Normal wizard and battle phase take out the Apollo. It's not a bad idea. But of course it doesn't work, and they just recycled back their Ash Blossom. So Ash on top of what they already had. Dormouse, get negated. Can't even activate March Hare. March Hare is not even activatable. We can't even, like, you would chain March Hare to the Apollo to ensure it comes out because they can't negate. Crazy. Didn't have to non-target banish. Just straight up. Malice Clappage. I think Malice players probably need to just stop caring about other decks and just main deck 3 Lancia to win the mirror match. That's all that matters right now. If no one's going to Lancia you and you could Lancia the mirror, then that's it. You win. Malice. Good freaking job. How many people were playing Lancia? Let's check that. Before even looking at the deck list, let's just look at the top decks page. Top 16, 4 players played Lancia. Just 4. And how many Lancia? So Renove among the top 16. And by the way, the only 4 people that played Lancia didn't make it past top 16. They didn't make it to top 8. Not top 4, not top 2, not grand finale. The only wall that was stopping Malice was crushed within top 16. So Rain on 2 Lancia, Luigi on 3 Lancia, Stardust on where's one that one Lancia, mate? You never. He's playing it to stop it. He's using cross out designate to negate your land. That's why he's not playing it for Malice. That's the secondary benefit. And then you have Renove. Both Renove and Stardust are playing Lancia just for cross out, just so it doesn't happen to them. So the only players that actually played Lancia to stop Malice was Luigi with pure Mitsurugi and Rain with Gold Pride Punk. Interesting. Let's go. Guys, can we bring Lancia next week, please? Let's see the decks. Let's check out the Gold Pride deck, okay? Gold Pride it up. One of the good decks to play in Genesis. Had a good run in today's Meta Weekly. Very happy to see that. Always looking forward for some rogue fun, and I hope you had fun. Thank you, Rain, for playing this deck. Well done. And then we have Branded. Baldy. Baldy Branded with Tier Limit Branded. I'm so happy to see this. Good job to you, Baldy. That is the main deck. Here is the extra. And then we're looking at Mitsurugi Pure, where this is actually with Zodiac. Zodiac, Mitsurugi, the only dude playing Triple Lancia. No one else. I can't believe it. And then we have Raziel Mitsurugi, Dare Evil. Good job. And then Blue Eyes. Now, everyone would be on Lancia if we had a side deck, but that doesn't properly showcase what the actual meta of Master Duel is. Konami doesn't make ban lists around a side deck existing. It's just not the case. Despite that, we'll still, for MCSs, have a side deck. Tomioka, well done. All right, and yeah, Kaiba Man, happy to see it. Searchable, then additionally summonable. Good job, Tomioka. Kaiba Man's having a good time in Duel Links. Fiendsmith Control. Moi, we got the searchable Kaiju. And then Node Name. All right, Bestials are going up. And then Mitsurugi Orchist. Earl GB with the 60 card deck. Absolute mad lad. We got Cash Tira and Horus in here. There's the extra. And then Renove in the top 16. Have our one Lancer to stop it with Crossout. Here's the extra. And then where's the Pure Mitsurugi? Pure Mitsurugi, the Fiend. 41 cards, Millennium, Fiendsmith, Mitsurugi. Very well done. And then Stardust Hope. Also Millennium, Fiendsmith, Orchist. There was 4 Orchist. Like, you look at this and go, there was 5 Malice. Yeah, but there was 4 Orchist. You know what Orchist loses to? Or is effective against Orchist? Lancia. So you have at least 9 powerful engines that Lancia keeps in check. And if you don't believe me, why are the Orchist players playing one Lancia for their crossout? Because it's effective against them. So it's Lancia's now just for Malice. You need it also for Orchist. And I think we looked at both of them, right? Fiend and Stardust Hope. And then we got the Malice players. Is there anything interesting about any of this? Just anything out of the ordinary. Anything. Super standard. Good job, Mesuyuki. Funkinator. Standard. The deck's been solved. I mean, TB11 is different. Good job on that. And then Drex. Anything. Just super standard. What else? Release the Kraken. Standard on standard. Yep. And then Hockey Mo. One Allure. Triple Tactics Talent was putting in some good work today. You have a Baldric instead of a second Druid Swarm. Some people are on 2 Druid Swarm. Good job to everyone today. Now, let's check what the amount of players playing Droll and Lockbird are. So only one player played 3 Lancia, 2 players played 1 Lancia for their crossout, and the 4th player played 2 Lancia to stay at 40 cards. They didn't want to go to 41 by playing a 3rd Lancia. You know, it's being conservative enough with the Lancia, not too little, not too much. But then what about Droll? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 out of the top 16 played Droll. And to be fair, Droll has better widespread use than a card like Lancia. And what about Droll at 3? At 3, all 11 players that were playing at least one Droll, if you were playing Droll, you played it at 3. All at 3. 3. It's the first card in the deck list unless there's a freaking Lurie. 3. There's some hand traps in front of that. Yep, across the board at 3. If you do Droll at 2, no one from October 19th. Droll at 1, no one. Interesting. That's a lot of Droll. And all at 3. And there's not a lot of Lancia. And I'm focusing so much on Droll because Mitsurugi has essentially necessitated the use of Droll at 3, and it, for many people, has taken the place of Lancia. So, really weird situation, how it almost feels like we are purposely allowing Malice to dominate. But then what's the alternative? Then Mitsurugi would dominate. So we can't effectively pin down both decks at the same time. So wouldn't that make Master without a side deck essentially rock, paper, scissors? You have Lancia, you win. You don't have Lancia, you lose. You have Droll, you win. You don't have Droll, you lose. And then against a certain deck only you would win. But then you have the Lancia against the deck, but you didn't draw your Lancia, then you lose to Malice anyway. I don't like... I've never liked in card games the words. How many words is it? The 3 words. It's the worst 3 words ever. And if you're ever in a meta where you feel like these 3 words are applied to this meta, it's a bad meta. Draw the out. I hate that. I think we're in a draw the out meta. Draw the Lancia, draw the Droll. If you don't draw the out, you lose. I want to interact with my opponent. I want a back and forth. I don't want to draw the outs. Konami, do something. Freaking do something. All right.